Welcome to Ridgetop Yoga Retreat. Today is the 18th day of Mindful March. We hope you're enjoying the month of March, having a class every day. If you're just joining in, get into a comfortable seated position and we'll get started in a few minutes. Today we're going to work on the root chakra, so opening up the root chakra. In the next few classes that I do, I'm going to be focusing on opening the chakras. So there's 7 chakras, and it's energy that runs along the spine, starting at the pelvic floor, at the coccyx, at your spine. And these nadis, which is energy, runs up the spine. And if any of those become blocked, there's different signs for each one. So we'll be working on that for the next couple sessions. So we'll get started in a few minutes if you want to just get into a comfortable seated position and just begin to calm your mind and relax your body. Taking deep inhale and exhales in through your nose and completely exhaling out through your nose. On the inhale, completely filling your lungs up with air. And on the exhale, completely emptying your lungs. You can be seated on a blanket or a block if it's more comfortable to lift your hips. And just have your hands gently resting on your lap. Your palms can be facing down for grounding or facing up to receive energy. And just begin to lengthen your spine. And calm your mind. Relax your body. Roll your shoulders forward and back. So we're going to be talking about the root chakra today, and we're going to be doing some exercises to open the root chakra if it's blocked, and the different signs for the root chakra, which is the first chakra located at the pelvic floor. It represents grounding. So if your root chakra is in alignment, you feel grounded, you feel secure, you're very stable. If that is unbalanced, you have a feeling of insecurity, a feeling of fear, a feeling of being unbalanced, and also a physical sign of the unbalanced root chakra would be if you're having problems with elimination. A balanced root chakra you are eliminating regularly. So if this is blocked, then the rest of your chakras are unbalanced, because the first chakra is the root chakra. The symbol is earth, which is grounding. It's self-confidence. It's feeling secure. The color that represents the root chakra is red. So we'll be doing some poses today which will help with the root chakra. So if you just get into a comfortable seated position, Place your hands comfortably on your lap and gently close your eyes. And we're going to take 3 deep inhales in through our nose and exhale out through our mouth. So take a deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Take another deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. And one more deep inhale and exhale. Now we're going to do an exercise called Mula Bandha, which is contracting the pelvic floor, which when you contract the pelvic floor, this moves the energy up the spine. So on the inhale, you're going to contract and hold it, and on the exhale, slowly release. So you're going to inhale and clench the pelvic floor, and on the exhale, slowly release. So match your breath to your movement. Inhale, and it's just working that muscle, moving the energy. And exhale, release. Inhale, clench. And exhale, release. And one more inhale and clench. And exhale, release. And now we're just going to inhale, reach your arms up overhead, lengthening the spine. And exhale, slowly release your hands back down by your side. And inhale, reach up. And exhale, slowly release. And one more inhale, reach up, your hands overhead. And exhale, slowly bring your hands to heart center, thumbs at your sternum. Slight bow to your head. If you'd like to set an intention for the practice today, you can do that now. And this is a half-hour class today. And inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, slowly bring your hands back down by your side. And we're going to come up to standing position. And working on the root chakra today, opening up the pelvic floor. We're going to go into Tadasana, into mountain pose. So your feet are hip distance apart, palms facing forward, shoulder blades back and down. Your eyes can be opened or closed. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths here. And remember, this is your practice. So do what feels right for you. If something doesn't feel right, just come out of the pose and wait for the next pose. And take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead for a full body stretch, going up onto your toes, onto the ball of your feet, holding the balance. Turn your palms facing out and exhale, slowly release your hands back down by your side. Inhale, reach up, going up on your toes, full body stretch. Legs are engaged, your knees are lifted. Lengthening the spine, reaching out through your fingertips, working on balance. And And then exhale, come back to the soles of your feet and slowly release your hands back down by your side. And then inhale, reach up, staying flat on the soles of the feet. And exhale, we're going to go into a forward fold. So keep a flat back as long as you can. And exhale, forward fold. It's the first forward fold. Have a slight bend in your knees, really releasing the tension in that low back. Maybe hold opposite elbow to opposite hand, sway from side to side. Release your hands back down to the mat and inhale, slowly come up, reaching your hands up overhead. And exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Now we're going to work on chair pose, which is really a good pose to do for the root chakra. So keep your feet together, and if this is uncomfortable to balance, you can have a slight opening in your feet, in your legs. So we're going to inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and on the exhale, begin to sit back as if you're sitting back in a chair. Your arms are at a 45-degree angle now. You're sitting back into the chair. Make sure your knees are level, one's not in front of the other. And make sure you can see your toes at this point. Make sure your knees aren't over your toes, and your weight should be on the backs of your feet. So you should be able to lift your toes up when you're in chair pose. If it's too much with your arms being out in front of you, bring your hands to heart center and just work on really engaging your thighs here, engaging your core, lifting the toes if you can, and really strengthening the legs, your core, your ankles, your feet. Then inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Take a few deep breaths here. Then inhale, slowly come back up, hands overhead, and exhale, chair. See if you can get a little bit deeper into the chair. And then bring your hands to heart center. And we're just going to go up on that right toes, and then come back to the sole of your foot, lift the left heel up. And we're just going to alternate lifting our heels, going up on the toes, really engaging your thighs here. And then if you want to try going up on both toes, both feet, lifting the heels, working on balance, and then come back to the soles of your feet. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, forward fold. Take a few deep breaths here. And inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. And last one, exhale, chair. And bring your hands to heart center. And check on your knees, make sure your knees are level. And then we're just going to gently twist to the right, making sure your knees are level. Then come back to center and exhale left. Inhale back to center. Reach your arms up overhead and exhale, forward fold. Then inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. We'll take a few deep breaths in Tadasana and mountain pose. Focus on your breath. And now we're going to go into a wide-legged stance. And interlace your fingers behind your back. If that's uncomfortable, just place your hands on your low back. And we're going to take a deep inhale, take your gaze up for a slight back bend. And on the exhale, just begin to hinge forward from your hips. And stop halfway. You might have to widen your stance a bit. Engage your core here, pull your belly button in, and then exhale, begin to forward fold. When you get down there, bring your hands out in front of you, down to the mat. You might want to widen your stance a little bit more. And just press the palms of your hands into the mat and lift your chest a bit. Engaging your core, pressing down through the soles of your feet. And now walk your hands towards your right foot. And just put a slight bend in that right knee. You'll feel the stretch in the inner thighs. Little bend. Take a few deep breaths here. Then straighten that right knee. Walk your hands back to center. And then walk your hands towards your left foot and put a slight bend in that left knee. Feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. Then straighten that left knee, walk your hands back to center. And just place your right hand directly under your face. And take a deep inhale and raise that left arm up towards the sky. Then bring the left hand back down to the mat. Place the left hand directly under your face and take a deep inhale and raise your right arm up towards the sky. So you have a straight line from your right hand to your left. Take a few deep breaths here. Then bring your right hand back down to the mat. Place your hands on your hips and slowly, using your core, roll back up to center. And now walk your feet in a little bit. They're a little wider than hip distance apart. Really ground down through the soles of your feet. Straight back, straight spine, reaching out through the crown of your head. Then when you're ready, extend your arms out to the sides, level with your shoulders for 5-point star pose. You're engaging your legs here. You're really grounding down through the soles of your feet. Your arms are engaged, reaching out through your fingertips. Your arms are engaged as if you're holding up weights with your arms, lengthening the spine, reaching out through the crown of your head for 5-point star. Take a few deep breaths here. Now we're just going to turn our toes out towards the corners of the mat. And we're going to go into goddess pose. So bend your elbows. Your palms are facing forward. Your arms are still engaged. Strong fingers here. Take a deep inhale and lengthen your spine. And then on the exhale, begin to bend your knees for goddess pose. So your knees are following your toes. You have a straight back here. You don't want to lean forward. You want to, and it doesn't matter how low you can get. It's really just engaging those thighs. This is great for opening the root chakra. And now we're going to come back up to 5-point star. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale, and on the exhale come back down to goddess pose. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper into the pose. Make sure you're engaging your core here and your shoulder blades are back and down. Everything is engaged, working on strengthening your ankles, your legs, your core, your arms, lengthening the spine. And then come back up to 5-point pose. Take a few deep breaths here. And now take a deep inhale. And last one, exhale, goddess. Take a few deep breaths. Star, and exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Walk your feet in. We're going to take a few deep breaths in Tadasana in mountain pose. And just focus on your breath, letting go of any thoughts that come into your mind. Go into squat pose to go down to the mat. You can be in a wide-legged stance, feet hip a little wider than hip distance apart. We're going to do a few rotations into squat pose. So you can have your toes facing out so your knees aren't jeopardized, to have your knees follow your toes. But we're going to inhale, reach our arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring those palms of your hands together, really press them into each other. And exhale, only go halfway into squat. So you're only going halfway down. Really keep a straight spine here. Pressing the palms of your hands together. Then begin to straighten your legs. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, lengthening the spine. And exhale, slowly bend your knees into squat. Coming only halfway down, tucking the pelvis in, making sure your spine is straight. And one more time, inhale, straighten the legs, reach your arms up overhead, lengthen the spine, and exhale into Malasana, into squat pose. And then if you want to go all the way down or as far as you can go before your heels lift, if you get all the way down, you can place your elbows in between your knees, opening the hips a bit. And then bring your hands down to the mat and we'll come to staff pose. So we're seated on the mat. Your legs are out in front of you, slight bend in the knees. Place the palms of your hands next to you, flat on the mat. Pressing your sit bones into the mat, palms of your hands into the mat. You're engaging everything here. Your feet are flexed, slight bend in your knees. Everything's engaged. You're reaching through the crown of your head for staff pose. Take a few deep breaths here. And then release, relax everything. Now take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, we're just going to walk our hands towards our feet for forward fold. Keeping a flat back as long as you can. And then inhale, pull your belly button in. And on the exhale, see if you can forward fold a little more. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to just walk our hands back to center. And bring the right knee in towards your chest. You can leave it here or cross it over the left leg, the straight leg. Wrap your left arm around that right knee. Hug it in towards your torso, towards your chest. Bring your right hand behind your right glute. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, twist, looking over your right shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here. Release the twist, come back to center, straighten that right leg out. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. You can leave it here, or to get more of a stretch in that left hip, cross it over your right leg. Wrap your right arm around that left knee, left hand behind your left glute. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, twist, looking over your left shoulder. Then release the twist, come back to center, cross that leg back. We're going to bend our knees and go onto the soles of our feet here. And just place your hands with your fingertips facing your glutes. And we're just going to windshield wiper the knees out from side to side. So let your knees fall to the left, come back to center, and just fall to the right. We work the legs today. Working on the root chakra. When balanced, you feel centered, connected with yourself. Back to center, and we're just going to slowly roll down to the mat and hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Maybe making circles with your knees together clockwise, massaging that low back. And then go in the other direction. And then hug the knees into the chest. Extend your arms out to the side. Take a deep inhale in. And on the exhale, slowly roll onto that left hip, bringing your knees to the left. Keeping your shoulder blades flat on the mat and taking your gaze over your right fingertips. Take a few deep breaths here. Then And slowly roll back up to center. And exhale right, rolling onto that right hip, bringing your knees to the side, to the right, keeping your shoulder blades flat on the mat, and take your gaze over your left fingertips. And slowly roll back up to center. Hug your knees into your chest and just extend your feet up towards the sky for legs up the wall. Place your palms flat on the mat beside you. You can point and flex your feet. This is an inversion, which is really good to do every day to get the blood and oxygen back to your brain. And then hug your knees into your chest. And we'll get ready for Shavasana. So for Shavasana, you can have your legs long out on the mat and let your feet fall out to the corners of the mat. Or you can go into recline bound angle pose, which the soles of your feet are together, and let your knees fall out to the sides of the mat. Your palms are facing down next to you and your shoulder blades are tucked under. If this is uncomfortable, you can have your legs out long in regular Shavasana with your arms out, palms facing up. And just gently close your eyes and bring your focus to your breath. Feeling your belly rise and fall on the inhale and exhale. Gently closing your eyes, relaxing your forehead, removing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feeling the cool air on the inhale, nourishing the body, and the warm air on the exhale, cleansing the body. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your head from side to side. And if you're in recline bound angle, bring your knees together. And then just roll on to your favorite side. When you're ready, with your eyes closed, come up to seated position, hands at heart center, thumbs at your sternum. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. We worked on the first chakra, the root chakra, Muladhara, and it is all about grounding and connecting with yourself and being true to yourself and self-acceptance. So I hope you enjoyed the practice, and thank you for sharing the practice with me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. thank you everybody for joining in today. If you have any questions about the practice, please send a message, or if you have any ideas. And have a great day. Namaste.